Hey guys, this video is for Geometry NTI Days 36 and 37. For these two NTI days, we're talking about a parallelogram. And so it is just a type of polygon. It is a quadrilateral, and both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So you can see in this picture, the top and the bottom are parallel. It has those little arrows on there. And then the left and the right are parallel. It has that little arrow on there. So a couple properties of parallelograms. Opposite sides are going to be congruent. Opposite angles are also congruent. If your angles are on the same side, or consecutive is another word for that, they are supplementary, so add up to 180, and then the diagonals bisect each other. So we're really just going to focus on these two properties here, because that is what you're most likely to see on the ACT if you see some kind of problem like this, is applying about these angles when they're congruent and when they are supplementary. So again, opposite angles, so like these two, when they are across from each other, are congruent. And then like these two, they're across from each other, they are congruent. When they are consecutive or same side, so like B and A, those are supplementary. They add up to 180. Or B and C, or angle A and angle D, or angle C and angle D. So the first page 36 is just applying that. You can see in this example here, it gives us angle X and wants us to find angle V. They are right across from each other, so they're going to be congruent. They're both 62. On the next one, it gives us angle W and then angle X. And those are on the same side. So those are supplementary, which means they're going to add up to 180. So you can just do 180 minus this one, which was 180 minus 145. And I just noticed I put 45 on your paper. Whoops. So that's 180 minus 145 is equal to 35. On the next day, you're just taking that one step further and making an equation. So on day 37, this first example gives you angle T and angle R, and those are going to be congruent. They're opposite, they're across from each other. When they're congruent, I set them equal. So 13x plus 6 is equal to 110, because that's that angle 110. And then I just work it out. So I subtract my 6. I get 13x equals 104. Divide by that 13. X is 8. And then all I did here was just show you how when I plug it back in, I get 110. So we've went over that a whole lot, how we can just plug in our answer and make sure it makes sense. On the next one here, we're looking at W and V, and those are on the same side. So they are supplementary, which means 180. They have to add up to 180, and so that's what I did in this equation here. 80 plus 9x plus 1 is equal to 180. I'm going to combine my like terms, 80 and 1, and you'll do that on every single one. Your next step is combine like terms. So for this one, I get 9x plus 81 is equal to 180. I subtract my 81 to the other side. I get 9x equals 99. Divide by 9. X equals 11. So all you're doing on this page is deciding, are they congruent? Are they across from each other? And if they are, you're just going to set them equal to each other. Or are they on that same side? So remember, the same side can be like they're both on the top, both on the bottom, like T and U, or they can both be on the sides. So like W and T, those two angles, or angle V and angle U, those would be on the same side also. Anytime they are on the same side, you add them and you set them equal to 180.